till Tuesday, but I found some things. I was supposed to go into the shed and find a cord, but I didn't find the cord. But I found so many cool things of mine. I look tired. Just ignore the way I look, okay? Okay, so this is a Christmas concert. Okay? That's me. And this is my bro. I spoke on him before. We lost him, okay? Unfortunately, he's not with us anymore. He chose to take his own life. But we were so tight. This is grade 1. But we knew each other since like pre-kindergarten, and we were so bonded, okay? That was my best friend. Before I moved when I was 15. Super close. And I found this picture today of when we were just kids, just babies. And I'm being drawn to the word peace. So maybe you have lost someone, okay, and they want you to know that they're at peace, okay? And even if it was circumstances like they took their own life, okay, when you think of this person, they want you to think of peace, okay? It's hard when people take their own lives because everybody has their own emotion about suicide, right? And before in meditation, I was getting that. No, it was a dream. Thank you. It was actually a dream. I was getting that in the dream state, he was saying that he's overwhelmed with the amount of people that were affected, okay, by him as a person because he was so amazing, okay? He was always happy. He would do anything to make someone smile, okay? Everybody liked him. There wasn't one person that didn't like this man, okay? And if they didn't, they were jealous, okay? And it was very obvious. And not very many people were jealous either because he would just make a joke about that too and end up making this person like them. So what he was saying was he was overwhelmed with how many people were touched by him as an individual. Okay? He said and then he also said, one thing that I really am having trouble with is every time that these people think of me, they get sad. They think I'm sad, that I was a sad individual, that I was miserable, when it wasn't that. That somebody wants you to remember the good times, okay? Remember the them before that pain, okay? So that is for somebody, okay? Like, don't see it through a lens that makes it sad, overwhelmingly sad, okay? That is what would bring this person peace from the other side, okay? This is also the bro that I was speaking about when I said that one of my bros saved my life from like beyond the grave, right? It was a story of domestic violence, okay? I was being strangled, okay? And I left my body. Near-death experience. I left my body and I was standing there beside my bro. And he told me what to say. He said, okay, now you're going to go back and you're going to say this. And I did. And then that was it. After this, I had went to treatment, and I had told an elder this. I was like, it's weighing heavy on me that I had said this, but he told me to say this, okay? And it's weighing heavy on me because I don't want to speak upon my brother like that. But he told me to say it, and it saved my life, okay? That same night, I dreamt of my bro, okay? And he said, I had your back for the last time, sis. Right? And then all of that heaviness of what I was carrying from what I had said that he told me to say, okay? Because I'm like, was I really supposed to say that? Like, I literally left my body. Was I supposed to listen to that version of him? Yes. Okay? And then after that, once I like spoke what I was having trouble with, he came to me in my dream, okay? And he lifted that weight off of my shoulders. It was so cool, okay? And that was a part of my spiritual awakening. When I started loving myself enough to not put up with domestic violence anymore. To not go back for round 2, round 3, round 4. I don't know how many times this guy almost killed me. At least 5, 6, I don't know, up there. So it was wild because it's like, if I were to go back, not only am I disrespecting myself, my children, whatever else, everything else, okay? Everything that happened, that played out with my bro in that moment, it would be for nothing. It would be for like codependency. It would be for like everything negative that I was trying to cycle out of my life. So this happening, this spiritual awakening happening, solidified something for me. Not only for me in that situation, but for me in any situation like that. Right? Because who I am is, I'm amazing, okay? I am full of love and understanding. And I deserve better. Honestly, I deserve everything that I am. It was really, that first awakening was about self-worth. It really was. Just because this person doesn't pick me, doesn't choose me, okay, it does not depreciate my value, okay? And me allowing them to move on and not pick me, it brings up that value, right? Someone was trying to video chat with someone today, and it was like a no-show. It was a no-show. They're gonna say that they were working. Then why schedule a video chat then? It's like a fake alibi. That's a side note. I have this goals journal. I literally wrote nothing in it. So maybe you don't know what to write in journals and you like being asked questions, okay? Then this may be for you. A goals journal. Every day, do something that will inch you closer to a better tomorrow. I personally, I like to freestyle, okay? I freely write. If I'm feeling something in that moment, I'll know a practice because of all the information that I've attained going through courses like this. Okay, so I have everything here. I was going to organize it, but I got too excited. Okay. These are some, I just pulled a few books because I found a lot of books. 20 spiritual lessons for creating the life that you want. The Way of the Wizard. Okay. I'm going to read that one last. I'm going to read this one first, okay? The Art of War and Other Classics of Eastern Philosophy. This is a hardcover too. The Art of War, the Tao Te Ching, Confucian, Analects, the Great Learning, the Doctrine of the Mean. Okay, that's like what we're kind of going through right now. Okay, that sounds like what we're going through right now. The Works of Mencius. And I read a little bit of it, but not much. Tactical dispositions. The good fighters of old first put themselves beyond the possibility of defeat and then wait for an opportunity of defeating the enemy. Okay? To secure ourselves against defeat lies our own hands. But the opportunity of defeating the enemy is provided by the enemy himself. Wow. Right? Yeah. It's just what's going to happen, right? If you keep doing that to people and never being held accountable, okay? Keep lying to yourself. You are going to secure that defeat, and it will be provided by your own hands. 3, thus the good fighter is able to secure himself against the defeat, but cannot make certain of defeating the enemy. Okay? So, we can secure our own defeat with our own hands, okay? But we cannot make the certain defeat of the enemy, okay? It isn't who are we to choose whether somebody is defeated or not. If that person is to be defeated, it was, they made it that way, okay? If the universe had that, if the creator had that planned for them in their story due to their choices or past life, or they could even be an avenging angel, right? Who have a hard story and then have to figure themselves out to tweak. I don't know, to like make themselves a better person, right? Usually an avenging angel has a hard story. They have a difficult story, but then there's many that witness them overcome that story. Okay, and there's many that come up against them, right? And that is God's way of making an example out of the good fighter. Okay, who is imperfect, but is able to secure themselves, okay, from defeat by changing self. Okay, that is all we have control over, and some of us don't even have that. And then I'm hearing the what is it called, the serenity prayer. I don't know it off the top of my head anymore, but I used to. It's like, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. Wait. Do you guys know the serenity prayer? Grant me the serenity to accept things I cannot change. The courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Okay? So can I change this? Is it a person, place, thing? You can only change yourself, okay, without getting any sort of repercussion, unless it's like mutually decided between two willing and able beings, okay? So God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. If this person is not to be defeated by you, that will not change, okay? And you need to come to accept that, or that is a hill that you'll die on, okay? The courage to change the things I can. Okay, so if it's me and the things that I do, am I off balance? Where am I off balance? Okay, how can I avoid a situation like this so that this conflict doesn't arise again, right? That's something I can change. And the wisdom to know the difference. Okay, when do I back away? And when do I change something? Okay. 4. Hence the saying, one may know how to conquer without being able to do it. Security against defeat implies defensive tactics. Ability to defeat the enemy means taking the offensive. That's a good way to burn energy, time, money, energy, right? And that's exactly what these people have been doing, okay? They've been depleting these things for themselves as you have been nurturing self, okay? Standing on the defensive indicates insufficient strength. Attacking and I read that wrong. A superabundance of strength, okay? So if you're on the defensive, it either means you've been on the offense too long and now you're indicating that you are lacking in strength and that's why you're pulling back and being defensive. That's one. Okay? Attacking. I'm kind of getting like silent attack, like a silent attacker. Like say you set something up to go a certain way, okay? Or say it's something like these what do they call them? I think they're called like network wars, okay? Something like that. But it's where like one country is funding another country who is more impoverished, okay? What the fuck is the word? She said Corona. She wants to have a drink. My mother. This is my mom. Her name's Lisa Marie, like you know, Elvis's daughter. What was I saying? It's not a network war. It's like hi, do you have any religion? No. Do I believe in a higher power? Yes. Okay, I usually call him spirit, God, or the creator, but it's a very loving energy, okay? It's a very understanding energy. It's a very powerful energy. It's a very protecting energy. Where are you at? I'm in Canada. Cool. Cool. I've been to treatment twice, okay? I just have. It's my truth. And that, the first time I went, is when these spiritual awakenings started happening, and then they just progressively got more intense from there. Proxy wars. Okay, proxy wars. Thank you. Network. You see how I kind of mixed those two up? Okay. Proxy wars, like how it sounds. Okay, it's in another place. Okay, funded by the people who are actually at war. That's what I was getting by this defense attacking. Okay, or you could be on the defense because you're forced there. Okay, there we go. Okay, so if you are one of the people, like for example me, where you are being oppressed by everybody, okay, because these authority figures are creating slander so that you can't get any sort of public resources. They are writing up false reports. They're having people call in and make false reports. They're having their fucking they're having their foot soldiers on the streets attack you too. So at every angle they're attacking. That could be a reason that you're in the defense, is because you're forced in that position. But it allows you to do some introspection. It actually allows a superabundance of strength, okay? In the mental, in the emotional, in the physical, if you are in tune with that, okay? The spiritual, okay? Because you are forced to be isolated. So when you're forced to be isolated, where do you turn to? Okay, if you have nobody, who would you turn to? The most powerful somebody who makes all of these everybody's look like nothing, okay? Because this powerful somebody that you're calling upon can take your fears, can take that pain and replace it with love and peace in even the most chaotic situations. Okay, can heighten your intuition when needed so that you can escape a situation. That can put the same fear that these people try to put into you. Okay, they whenever these people feel fear, because he knows what they fear too, he'll heighten it. He'll heighten it so that these people will snap at anything impulsive. They'll defeat themselves, right? It's like people think like, yes, God will protect you. You feel like an overwhelming sense of love once you start working on that connection. But we are beings of dark and light, right? And finding that balance. When I wrote my defects of character, okay? After writing those, we flip the script on them, okay, as to like say like, okay, where would this behavior be valuable to me? I know that I am overdoing it, and I'm doing it probably, obviously I'm doing it wrong, right? I'm applying it wrong, but there will be a situation where I apply this and it works for me. Why is that? Because we are light and dark. There's a time and a place for everything, right? So God is the same. He's the same. Okay, he's light and dark. Like based off of who we are, our character, our dharma, our karma. Okay, he'll amp that shit up. Okay, he'll leave people without, so that they see something, right? So that they have these awakenings. And whether or not they take that call is up to them. Whether or not they acknowledge it is up to them, right? I could have left my body that day, stood right beside my bro in spirit form, and decided to tell myself that that was a dream and it didn't exist. I could have. But I'm not about to do that to myself, okay? I know what I felt. I know what I saw. I know what I experienced. And I'm very lucky to be able to express it in a way where people can relate, okay? Where people can pick messages off of it. Where people can know that, like, it's worth doing the inner work. It's worth taking that call, okay? Because you will... To awaken a little bit, just the slightest bit, is to awaken to a lot. Okay? You'll be like, whoa. You won't see things the same. You won't think about certain situations the same. In the most beautiful way. Okay? Things will become more meaningful. And it's cool to figure out things like that, right? Like, especially when it's pertaining to your story, because you know what it means to you, okay? Like, before I ever ask, like, what does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? I pray on it first, okay? I pray on it first, and then once I pray on it, then I Google it, okay? Because my perception and what my spiritual team brings me is more important to me than what anybody else thinks first, okay? Because I'm the main character in my story, and that's my responsibility as an individual. I come first, God, everybody else, because God is my support in doing this on my own, okay? Soul, it's we come here as one, we leave here as one, okay? It's a soul journey. And if you're always asking everybody else what they think, how is it accustomed to you? How is it your story, right? So even if you don't have that answer yet, that's okay. Okay, we put that thought on the back burner. And eventually when that thought is there long enough, it'll come to us. Or we can just, it's our perception, right? We don't have to go into deep detail. We just know it. We know it deep within us. But it's just good. It's good to figure out what things mean to you. Okay, and build off of that. And that should be your religion. Okay, it should be completely unique to you and your story. Okay, and how you see things. And sometimes how we see things is I almost said morbid, okay, but it's like sometimes how we see things, it's blunt, okay? I get told that a lot, but I'm just speaking my truth. But like, I can definitely soften my approach, but then it wouldn't be me. But I forget where I was going with this. Okay, sometimes, thank you. I get off track and then they will remind me. Sometimes it's good to go over that same story, your story, or that situation, and go in with a new perspective. Go in as you're seeing it through somebody else's eyes. Go in as the opposite perception as you, okay? And see what you learn from that. Like, maybe you'll still have your opinion that you think is better, but there is things that we can learn, okay, from other people's perspective, okay? And that's also like how we can deepen ours and know what we hold valuable. We can know our virtues, okay? Because even though this person has a point, I choose my perspective, and this is why, okay? And that shows that this is more valuable to you than what this person sees, okay? And then if you don't like that, if you feel like this person's perspective is now more valuable because you've awakened to many things that has changed your perspective, then go ahead and integrate the two, where this value is put above this value in every situation, okay? If you don't like what it is when you figure it out, that is something we can change, right? And we need to do it with grace. We do need to have serenity in those moments, and that is why that prayer is there. Okay? Because yes, we want to change these things, but we want to do it with grace, and we want to do it without affecting anybody else, okay? Because we can't change anybody else. Okay? That would be insanity. So, how can I go about this and still care about others' boundaries? Respecting others in the process of doing this, right? No matter what I think they've done to me. That is not my business to condemn or to judge. That's between them and their higher power. Okay? Just like how I say, like, it's okay to fuck up. Just don't lie to yourself and don't lie to your higher power. Okay? Because you're not progressing that way. Okay? You're lying to yourself. You're not holding yourself accountable. And that can fester in many areas. Okay, so don't even start by you can lie to anybody, okay? Don't lie to yourself. What was I saying? I forget what I was saying. I know a little bit of English. There's closed captionings on your settings. Don't look for meaning in people. They don't have nothing to show. Yes and no. Like, I don't know about you guys, but like I get a lot of my messages from people. I feel like God led them to say that to me, that allowed me to see something, right? And that's meaningful to me. Okay, what was I saying? Something about, how did I get onto lying to self? If it's important, it'll come to me. The general who is skilled in defense hides in the most secret recesses of the earth. He who is skilled in attacks flashes forth from the topmost heights of heaven. He who is skilled in attack flashes forth from the topmost heights of heaven. Okay, so you can be in the defense and call upon this powerful, loving energy and come out on top. Thus, on the one hand, we have ability to protect ourselves. On the other, a victory that is complete. Damn. And all we had to do was focus on self. Okay? And ignore the rest. It's sometimes more easily said than done, right? It's still considered an attack. So the person who's skilled in defense still knows they're being attacked, okay? And of course, the attackers know this as well. It's kind of like, It's kind of like the first to attack, the first to attack loses, right? There's a huge strength in being defense. To see victory only when it is within the ken of the common herd is not, I don't know this word, ACME, of excellence. Okay, so we need to be able to see the bigger picture, right? Just because we want this in this moment and we feel like we want to fight tooth and nail over it, okay, have this wisdom to see that this ain't really important for real. Okay? To be able to see the bigger picture. Okay? And know that there is a bigger purpose. Okay? There's a bigger purpose. Neither is it the acme, I think that's it, of excellence if you fight and conquer, and the whole empire, the entirety of it, everybody says, well done. Okay? Neither is it the acme of excellence if you fight and conquer and the whole empire says, well done. Because who are they to know? Okay? Who are they to God? That's why this war that they're fighting, it ain't even important for real like they think it is, right? They value things that they put things and hold values to things that shouldn't be held in that sort of light in comparison to the true important values and virtues that man, this is the fucking, this is like it's giving me like Matrix, but I don't even really know what that is. I've just heard it, but it's giving Matrix. Okay, it's giving materialism, it's giving fake news, it's giving power in numbers. Okay, when anybody who is spiritual knows that's far-fetched, complete bogus. Okay, there's power within that individual who knows themselves, okay? Who stays true to those virtues that they hold in high honor, okay? Who chooses to live a life that is meaningful to them. That is power. Okay, one who chooses to call upon the Creator opposed to anybody else. Okay, who chooses peace no matter what they're going through, who chooses to love themselves no matter what's going on externally, like the ability to do that and to just sit with self and protect your energy with connecting to a power, like a great power. Okay, the power of love, the strongest energy of all. That is the victory for self. And it's also the victory to the enemies because that's what they didn't want. And now that we've attained that, there's no going back. And now they no longer matter because we've awakened ourselves to this entire situation. They never did matter. I matter. And if they had an ounce of respect or love for themselves, maybe they would matter in our lives. But we know that they're not there. It literally just doesn't matter, okay? After a while, like, things will progress, and it's not like that they don't matter. No, they should matter to them, okay? And they shouldn't be attacking you to begin with, okay? It's like, somebody needed to learn how to protect themselves by themselves on a spiritual level. And they did it. They attained this. That is the victory in itself. Doesn't matter if these people are still attacking you. Doesn't matter if these people are still gang stalking you. Doesn't matter if these people are still trolling you. Okay, saying dumb shit on your comments, or following you around, or coming to your house at night just to have an eerie feeling lingering, okay? It doesn't matter. What matters now is that we have a connection to protect ourselves energetically. So no matter what goes on around us, we're able to call on that power if we choose to do so, okay? That is the victory. That is the super abundant of strength. Victory complete. And it ain't even about the attackers. Victory complete because we've attained this ability. And in attaining this ability, it allows us not to care about the attackers anymore. And that's the victory against them, because they want us to care. Okay? They want us to feel defeated. And it's just not happening. Because if that were the case, then I would have been defeated time and time and time and time again, and it would have depleted my value. And I already learned that that's not true. To see, okay, I already read that one. To lift an autumn hair is no sign of great strength. To see the sun and moon is no sign of sharp sight. To hear the noise of thunder is no sign of a quick ear. Okay, so it's more of a sixth sense, right? It's like that inner strength is that great strength. Okay? To see beyond the veil is that sharp sight. To read between the lines. To hear once you quiet the mind is the sign of the quick ear. That's what it is to me, okay? And if I'm reading this and it means something to you, go ahead and leave it in the comments, okay? I very much merge other people's ideas with mine if I feel that I like that idea or that aspect. I'll meditate on it, okay? And yeah, I just love it. I just love to see other people's perspectives on things, like, because obviously it means something to you if you've experienced it, right? Okay, and same for me. And when we're putting these positions, right, where we have to lean on something that we don't necessarily see, but we can feel. Okay, we can't necessarily explain it to people, but maybe we hear it. Maybe we do see it in our mind's eye. Okay, maybe we just know deep within us that something is true. We trust it blindly, right? That's that blind faith. And I love to hear how other people put it into words, okay? Because the way that I express it can be totally different than what somebody else perceives, right? So it's so cool, and it's so unique, okay? That's why like a conformity of one religion is, I don't know, it seems culty to me, okay? And I'm not saying that all churches are cults. I'm saying that to have everybody conform to one thing and one belief, and this is how it is, okay? I don't like that idea. Okay? I don't like that idea. I feel like we all have spiritual awakenings on our path, whether we're open to them or not. Okay, and we have to decide to see them, right? To engage in them, to actually have it mean something. And if we don't, then we don't. And then maybe we don't have a religion, or maybe we don't have spirituality within our life, okay? But it is a superpower, okay? Because God will pour strength into you when you need it, okay? He'll make you completely oblivious when you need to be acting like that, okay? To throw the scent off, okay? You know? Yeah. There's something about surrender too. When you surrender, that is also inviting these clever fighter spirits, okay? Just like how you are a good fighter. These good fighters, these clever fighters of the spirit realm, okay? When you surrender, you're inviting the greatness of these spirits to help you, okay? And maybe they're not all great, maybe they're not all light, maybe they're not all dark, but you're allowing the lighter side of them, the higher self of them, okay? You're inviting that to help you, okay? Because there's all types of angels and demons. There just is. Some are more dark, some are more light. Some are really dark and just a little bit light, but that really dark, demonic little bit of light helps you with their little bit of light, okay? And fucks with these attackers with all their demon. Because your light brings out their light, okay? Something like that. Like, I'm seeing it in my mind's eye. Like, when you call upon and you surrender to your higher power, you're inviting the light side of these beings to help you, okay? And I say that, I'm not saying light beings, okay? Because dark beings will help you too. They'll help you out of those sticky situations. They'll help you tap into your darker side when you need to get out of some shit. When you need to be intimidating. When you need to put your foot down, okay? And step into that masculine energy. When you need to step into that maybe more brutal, ruthless energy, okay? And I don't mean violence. I mean, like, you need to say some shit. You need to lay that line in the sand, right? Or you need to make a really brutal decision to cut someone off, okay? And to do it in a way where you're making an example of it, where it'll hurt, okay? And you'll never come back. So it will continue to hurt to the end of their days, okay? That type of shit, okay? But for the greater good of you and them, if they choose to have an awakening after the fact, okay? This shit will make you stronger, okay? Or it will defeat you. Depending on if you go on that offense or if you sit in that defense and change what you can yourself, your perspective, who you're around, your environment, what you choose to engage in, okay? That's what I'm getting from all this, okay? So even if they have tactical dispositions, you can still come out on top. And this is how you've done it. By not retaliating and shifting the focus, even though their ugly little heads keep popping up out your fucking bedroom window or something. Or on YouTube or wherever. Right? Just the heinous, grimiest shit they'll come up with. Okay? The other day I was meditating and somebody was talking about tattoos earlier. So I got like tattoo downloads. And this is something I'm going to be practicing now, okay? If I'm to get ink, I will go get blood work done. I'm going to book blood work before I even ever book that tattoo, okay? And then I'll book that tattoo the day after that blood work or hours after that blood work, okay? Just to have something to go off of, because in this vision I was getting someone was sabotaging a feminine. And what they were doing is they were fucking around and infecting a needle on somebody who had an infection, okay? One that is incurable, okay? One that will stick. It was AIDS. Anyway, and then they put this needle, they like polish it up. They didn't sanitize it or anything like that, but they polish it up. They put it in a new package, not the one they opened, in like a new package. I don't even know how it still looked new. And they sealed it up. Okay, they sealed it up with a vacuum seal, okay? And then they opened it as if it was a brand new needle in front of the girl, like acting all professional, as if this is the first time they opened this needle, okay? And it wasn't. It was, they were trying to sabotage this person with the tattoo, like a needle, a gun, a needle. And I was like, that's so fucked. Like a person, what you mean? Like a person can be abstinent and choosing not to indulge in that and still get fucked up because you guys are fucking weird, okay? Weird. So if you want to practice that, that's something I'm going to be practicing now. If you're going to get ink, book blood work and then book that appointment after the blood work, so that you have something to go off of, okay? So you can be like, listen, I had a strong feeling about this fucking guy or this girl. I went and got my blood work yesterday. I'm clean. I get this fucking needle in me and now I'm not. Okay, there's your lawsuit. And there goes like their image, right? Good luck getting any customers after that. It'll just be the people you plotted with and that's it. And even then, you guys will both get caught up somehow. So it ain't even like that's forever. I don't know, man. Like, I don't understand why people are so hard up to have other people fuck up the way that they did when they don't choose that for themselves. It's like, that's how you fuck yourself, okay? Because this person's protected energetically. So when you come at them like that and you allow other people to come at them like that, okay, and you cause this chaos around their name, your karma's like doubled, tripled, okay? Like, if you have people with a common goal, it brings it power, right? That's why they do this cult shit. That's why when we're trying to uplift people, we're like, there's only positive here, okay? If you bring that negativity, we'll point it out, okay? Thank you for showing yourself. And that's it, okay? We'll leave it up. It's but there's more positivity in here than anything, right? It just makes someone look dumb and the other one looks skilled, okay? Someone look immature and the other look tolerant. What the ancients called a clever fighter is one who only wins. Who not only wins, but excels in winning with ease. Why is that? I think it's with ease because they have that super strength of calling upon a higher power, and praying and meditating and asking that higher power, what should I do? I'm just a stupid little human, what should I do? And really opening your mind to what they have to bring you, right? And then maybe adding what you know, right, your knowledge to it as well. It's like understanding and an open mind. It's like individuality with God backing it, with love backing it, okay? This powerful energy backing it and allowing it to happen, okay? And then also allowing the universe to work with it as well. So it's easy, it flows, okay? It's your story, okay? Because your intention trumped all the rest, okay? It's like their karma's terrible. It's terrible. And everyone they had join, okay, with the same intention, made that energy even more powerful to backfire. It's like they thought that they were making this intention stronger to be the demise of you, the defeat of you, but really it was the defeat of themselves, okay? And maybe it's a huge realization that everything that everything in them that they put forth in life was a tragedy, was a waste of fucking time, was pointless. Because they don't even know themselves. They don't even know what they're fighting for. Honestly, they're just a bunch of jumbled up emotions that act on impulse. There's no meaning to anything other than, oh, this person makes me feel this way. I gotta do this. Oh, I need this person because of money. I gotta do this because this is how you get people. And this is how you make people believe things. And this is how you da 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 da. Things that don't really fucking matter, right? Things that really don't matter. And that's when these people, they have like identity crises, okay? They become very isolated within. So maybe they isolated you, okay? But you weren't, you knew yourself. You were comfortable with self. You deep dove into that shit and made it even sweeter. Okay? Made those changes. Didn't fight those battles you didn't have to. Reciprocated this energy with not a whole lot. Because it was nothing to entertain. Right? But still understanding it so that you know these people's tactics, how they operate. And it's easier to observe how these people operate in the defense, okay? It's less chaotic there. That's why it's easy, okay? Because not only are you comfortable within self and what you hold true to self, but you're backed by your higher power and the universe who's allowing it to happen, okay? Like a series of chain of events, okay, that is being allowed to happen due to your intention, and then God backing it and the universe working with you. That's why they call it co-creation. You did this, okay? And it started in the mind. Okay, and those thoughts snowballed, they progressed. Okay, and then you figured out why those thoughts kept progressing, why it meant something to you, and then you connected those thoughts to a feeling. And then you thought even deeper, and maybe you even imagined things that made you feel an even deeper amount of purpose or happiness or fulfillment. Okay, and you're open to anything that would any variations of that goal, that imagined picture, that purpose, right? And that's what brought this in. That's why it's like, you know how people say like you don't know what you need, right? You know what you want, you don't know what you need. Or that's why you just call on your higher power, right? Like bring me what I need. Bring me what I need. And if it's within me, show me that. This is how you become so strong. And they can't see it. That's how they underestimate you. That's how they be so boastful in having their slander be believed. Be so boastful in having these corrupt officials on their side and shit. Okay? And they make themselves look fucking terrible because they are terrible. What they did to you is terrible. It was an unfair advantage to one single person, one single woman, and their children over finances. Okay? Or anybody, it doesn't have to be a woman, over finances. A story older than time. A tale older than time. Okay? Hence his victories bring him neither reputation for wisdom, nor credit for courage. Because they don't need it. They are those things are secure within themselves, okay? They don't need that reputation. It probably helps for business, networking, whatever. Okay, but it doesn't bring them a sense of anything to have that reputation or not. Okay, because they know themselves. And that is the victory. They know their connection, and that is their victory. So if these people, these outsiders, are to say anything about you and how you operate or what you did in that moment, okay, it is absolutely none of their business, okay? And they have no idea where you're at in your spiritual growth, your mental growth, okay? Whatever it is. Because they have this such skewed vision of what's right and what's not right. And they never take the time to sit and ask. Or sit and wonder why they think like that. Like when was this put into me? This idea. Okay, because if they don't even compare, like on a spiritual level, you are like eons ahead. And they think that because they ruined your reputation or because you did one thing that they can go off on them at the mouth, okay? Because this one thing you did makes you look kind of bad, and it's distracting you from what I've been doing to them this entire time, which was 10 times worse. You know? It's like, it just doesn't matter. That's what I mean by it doesn't matter. Like, I feel like there's a better way that I could put that. The victory is that you don't need this. Although it was affected in a negative sense, you didn't need it, okay? And you needed to learn that. So now that you've learned that, and you're getting a better reputation now that the truth's coming out, you still don't need it. And that's what you trained yourself in the beginning when you had that poor reputation brought upon whoever, everybody, all the attackers, all angles. Okay, you had to learn not to give a fuck what anybody thought. Okay, because you know who you are, you know what you hold close, you know that what you hold valuable to you is of importance. Okay, and it does make you have integrity, and it does make you a better person than they are. It just does. Okay, and if there was the same person with those same values, they'd be just as equal as you. So it's like, now that we taught ourselves that we can't care, we can't. There was an unfair advantage there. Now that the tables are turning and we're getting a good reputation, people are actually listening to us for real. Because we make sense. Because things are events are happening where it's proven who's truthful, who's honest, who's full of shit, who has a bunch of fucked up shit coming up about them, right? And it's these people, okay? And you're still in this balanced energy with a bunch more wisdom because they taught you all their fucking tactics, and you were sitting in defense, being observant. Okay, you get it. Observing. It's like, I'm seeing a word, but it's like overly. I'm hearing it's written in the book. It's written in the book. The red book. It's written in the red book. Okay. Sorry, I get a little bit. It's written in the red book. It's like you're observing something, but you're like overly. It's like an instinct kind of thing. Just go ahead and rewind it. It's pretty interesting. I'm liking it so far. We're talking about tactical dispositions, and then I'm just like doing a little bit of like show and tell on things that I found in the shed today. It's just all seeming to fall into place. That word's gonna bother me now. Maybe I should go find the red book. I'll take you guys with me. It's like observing, but more intense.
Markets, war.
The red book.
How does Steve execute an ambush in Syria? Steve has friends everywhere. First of being a billionaire, what was his objective? Look, it's not my number, but it's all about something called.
They're talking about an ambush and Steve knowing everybody. Perks of being a billionaire. Okay. It better be in this red book. Okay, here are my defects of character. But there's a time and a place for every single one of these. So now I just know more of where to use them. And I'm not overly using these things anymore. I've showed you guys this in a previous video, okay? When I first started out. When I explained this, I think there's still only 8 views on that video. So if you want to go ahead and see my beginning videos, I don't speak as confidently in those, okay? My voice is like shaking and I'm kind of timid because it was my first time on YouTube. But like, that's when I explained this, okay? So this is like, when do we cut someone off, okay? And this is in any relationship. Are they a good friend character or a bad friend character? So you're going to write a list, 2 lists. What would a friend character be like? What would a not friend be like? Okay, so I'm going to give you guys examples. A good friend would be up front. They would listen. Okay, a not friend would be shady and cause unnecessary drama. They'll be an instigator, a shit disturber. A good friend will be able to resolve their own problems. A good friend would have a sense of humor for me, okay? A not good friend would be miserable. They would be a liar. They would be angry just to get attention and have their way, okay? A good friend would be accountable. They'd be able to be accountability, honesty, humility. A not good friend, and it doesn't mean they show these all the time, okay? But they're actively practicing them in their life, okay? A not good friend would be defiant, blaming others for their problems that they create. They'd be a shit talker. They'd talk behind people's backs. A good friend character would be open-minded, okay? They would be authentic to themselves. A not good friend, to me, okay, they would be fake. They would be manipulative. They would be codependent. A good friend character would fight against adversity. A not good friend character would join the adverse for whatever reason they have. A good friend character would know when to stand up for themselves or their beliefs. A not good friend character would be a follower of someone else just because they believe it. Okay? This is how I decided who my friends were. You want to know how many friends I had? Fucking zilch, man. But I'll be my number one friend till the end, okay? And then when I get to a certain level, I will attract that same thing. There is good people out there, okay? And maybe you haven't experienced them yet, but there is. There is. And I know that because I'm good, okay? I didn't always used to be this way, but I worked my way here, and there's other people doing it too. A hermit is soul searching. Someone correlates someone with something, a feeling. Idealistic. I still didn't look that up. I was meditating on it. Idealistic. There's an absurd illusion that someone's living in. My brother's home from work. Oh, my babes. He drew something. Okay, we were watching Kung Fu Panda. Kung Fu, I said. We're watching Kung Fu Panda 4. And that girl is like, the rules of the street. Number 1, don't trust anyone. Number 2, someone always gets hurt. Okay. Number 3, no one cares about your feelings. No. How's your day? I'm on live, so don't say anything fucked up. So, since I started studying tarot, I've always had books, okay? I've always had empty books, and I've been documenting them. They don't all have dates on them, but as long as I can remember doing tarot, and I've been doing it for 5 years, I have these books, okay? They're everywhere. I have like at least 20 books filled with readings. Or like just little snippets, because if I can't push out a full page, I don't force it. Maybe this is all that needs to be said. Simply put, right? And then some go into great detail where it's 2 pages, but I have these books everywhere. See, I don't know what the fuck this is, but I crossed a bunch of stuff out. Oh, this was my, I was writing an essay for this university that I wanted to go into that I don't know if I want to go into anymore. I'm getting distracted. Okay, something was in this book. Survival mode? No, not that. There's something else. Lying to self. I used to always lie to myself. Okay, I would always justify it too. I would justify these ugly fucking people because I thought that they had like emotions like I had, and they just didn't. Okay, that's why it's like it's not good to speak on somebody because you really don't know um where they're at in comparison to you. Okay, I was getting that somebody was shit talking someone because they were like indulging. Okay, they're either having sex, doing drugs, or drinking. It was one of those three. Okay, and they were talking shit about this person. Little did they know, like, this person was like, I mean, if you're gonna compare, this person's a saint compared to you. Okay, and like on a spiritual level, leaps and bounds eons ahead. So it's like, it ain't even the pot calling the kettle black. Okay, it's not comparable. So it's just there's just it's ignorant to do that. And there's a reason you're doing it. And the sooner you find that reason and come into acceptance of that reason is the sooner you can change that within self, right? To have that serenity to change that within self, because you won't change this person. And by acting like that in their energy, you also won't change their mind about you. Okay? They'll be like, duly noted. I feel like it's coming up soon. Hyper vigilant. Okay, it just came to me. Hyper vigilant. So very vigilant. Hyper vigilant. But not in a paranoid, schizo kind of way. In like a very instinctual kind of way. Okay, I lost somebody in this. Okay, I lost a partner. I lost it's my late ex. Okay, and they have yet to tell me that this man is deceased. Okay, because they don't want me to know. Okay, because I know what I had invested. We had invested in stocks together. Okay, I had a download that he put me and my boys in his will. We had a strong bond. Okay, because we bonded over inner work. We bonded over spirituality and what it meant to him, which didn't mean what it meant to me. Okay, we were both very individual in what we believed in, but it was still the same type of love, the same love that we shared. Okay, and that's what we bonded on. I loved this man. Okay, and he was a man that I had never experienced before, like a real man, like a support me, ride till you die type man. Okay, he was so amazing. Okay, he taught me so many things just by being himself. Okay, because I just wanted to know everything that made him him, and everything that I learned had so much value to it. Okay, had so much wisdom to it. Okay, I had fucked up once, and I told him where I fucked up. And I was so used to this chaos that I'm like ready for a fight. And I told him, like, I was like, I'm so sorry. And I was timid, like my voice was shaking because I wanted to be 100% honest. I didn't want to fuck this up. And then he was like, okay. I believe you. And then he went and started talking about what he was talking about before. Just all perfectly fine. Like nothing had happened. And I'm like, wait. Aren't you gonna address anything about it? Like fucking yell at me or something, right? I'm just like trying to pick a fight now because I'm already like addicted to this kind of lifestyle. It stimulates me at this point. Okay, this toxic, I don't know. Okay, it was in that moment I knew I was fucked up. No, but he was just so calm. He has such a calm demeanor, and he was like, well, you were honest with me. You told me exactly what happened. You told me what you felt in that moment. You told me after. You told me that it would never happen again and why. You told me everything that I could have asked to know. You told me everything that I needed to know. Yell at you. And then what? I believe you. And man, I don't know what that did to me, okay? That healed me in a way. That healed me in what I thought love was and what love really is. Because love doesn't hurt, it doesn't manipulate, it doesn't keep you hanging on the edge of your seat. It doesn't. It brings you peace, it comforts you, it understands you. It forgives so long as you're honest. Okay, it's a reciprocated type of thing. It's a respectful type of thing. Okay, so if you don't respect it, you don't deserve it. You know it, I know it, the Creator knows it. Okay, and things will happen where you will be taken out of that person's life and you get exactly who you deserve. Okay, and you're gonna be lackluster, crying, okay, because you don't want you right now. I was trying to find me, and I found a teacher that had already found himself. Okay? He's gone now. And because of this grand larcening, organized crime bullshit, I am denied access to knowing that, to grieving that for real, okay? Thank God that I was able to do that in my own way without being informed. Because they don't want me to know, because they don't want me to know about my finances, what's owed to me and my children. I got a glimpse of what a healthy relationship looked and felt like. Thank you for showing me the path and for loving me when I couldn't love myself. And teaching me how you loved you and setting that example. The only man I felt completely and utterly respected by, empowered by, supported. You started me on this path. And then I made it my own. I made it meaningful. Just like this man showed me that his story was meaningful to him. Okay, so I had these great teachers along the way. And he wasn't the only. But in this situation, this is why I'm being attacked. Confirmation from the farty notification. But this is why I'm being attacked, okay? It is. From what I understand, it intuitively, my mail was still going to this mailbox, okay, to my parents' house. When I lived in Saskatchewan, with the ex that tried to kill me, okay? The one that doesn't matter for real. Because nobody matters, okay? You're not that special. You should be to you, but not anybody else. Anyway, I was living there with that guy. The one who was a part of this setup, along with his ex. And my mail was still coming to this house, okay? My family had opened my mail and took my mail of whatever this was to look into to a shady fucking lawyer, okay? Because they saw dollar signs in their eyes. And when this lawyer went ahead and gave them an offer, gave them terrible illegal advice, okay, in order to attain these finances underhandedly with selling everybody else a story of me. But in order to have this story look accurate, we need to have series of chain of events that allow it to look accurate. Okay, and this is when they drugged my child. Okay, I took my child into the hospital because he was overdosing. Because they drugged my child when I was out at the grocery store. I came back and they were out the fucking door. Didn't tell me where they went, okay? And that is not normal. So me being hyper vigilant due to PTSD of the past, all whatever I've conquered in the past, okay? I noticed things like that, okay? And then when I notice something like that, a red flag, my mind starts taking visual pictures. Okay, I'm able to hear exactly what that person said in that moment. Okay, so I was making a veggie tray. And about maybe 5 minutes into making that tray, I went and checked on the kids. Okay, and my baby is fucked. He's doing this thing with his hand over and over and over. His pupils, they're black. The entire thing is black. And he's doing this weird clicky thing with his tongue. I'm like, I knew it instantly. Okay? I texted this motherfucker. He didn't answer, but it was really fast, right? I called him. He picked up, and I'm like, what the fuck did you do to my baby? Okay? I started freaking out. Like any person would, right? He was like, wait, calm down, I'll be right there. He was there in 30 fucking seconds, okay? He was parked around the fucking corner, the idiot. And then I was freaking out. And then I'm like, and you bring this dumb bitch into our house, right? His ex. And then I was just trying to think of what the fuck should I do? Keep him hydrated, try to make sure he's eating, because if he's not eating and he's not drinking, I gotta go in, okay? At the same time, I know that if I go in there, I'm instantly going to fucking jail and they're taking my kids, okay? So I'm thinking these things, I'm fucking panicking, okay? It's the worst day of my life. It was the worst feeling of my life. And anyways, in that pause of me thinking things over, he's like, she would never do anything like that. And I'm like, I never fucking said she did, okay? And the thing is him saying that made me believe that she did do that, okay? Until one day, not that long ago, it was within the past year, I was meditating on it, and I read too much into that, okay? That hypervigilance was just off a little bit, and that's okay. As long as I nobody's 100% perfectly right, but I do have this strong sense, and I do know that they drugged him, okay? And the reason that I know that, I was sitting in a homeless shelter when I'm like, okay, let's just walk through the day as an observer, okay? As say the angels would watch my story, okay? As a bystander, a silent bystander. Let's just walk through it, okay? What made me know that was when I left, the kids were eating breakfast, okay? Adrian was in his high chair that was locked into place. That's what made me know that he didn't just stumble across some NyQuil and start getting into it, right? No. And I'm very cautious like that. I put my shit up high, okay? I'm very, very, very cautious like that. And the only new thing was this woman, right? It's the only thing that made this man act insane and whatever the fuck. I don't know, man. They're into some deep voodoo. But anyway, what made me know that they did it was he was in his high chair locked in when I left, and he was still in his high chair when I got back. Okay? And when I thought that thought and I saw it in my mind, I knew it to be true. And I felt it deep down within me that it was true. Okay? And when I was explaining it to my son, I'm trying to explain to a 5-year-old what the fuck's going on and why he's not allowed to see his mommy. Okay, while my family is painting this picture that I'm a terrible monster and that I'm going to jail. So I'm like, well, do you remember when we were at so-and-so's and he brought that woman into our life? Well, when we were there, somebody gave Adrian bad medicine. They gave him medicine that you're not supposed to give to babies because they will die. And when I went to the hospital to save Adrian, they have nothing to believe other than seeing me, seeing Adrian, seeing you, and trying to put the pieces together. Okay, so that's why I got arrested, Parker. Not because I'm a bad person, not because I did anything, but because they have nothing else. Okay? But they did have other things, okay? Like, I gave, like, a very detailed statement. And when I mean detailed, like, I am very thorough. I have straight facts, straight times, straight routines. Even if it wasn't a routine, I know exactly the order that I did it. Okay? And I know why I did that certain thing. And that's all I can speak on. I speak facts. I don't speak opinions. And that's why my statement was so thorough. And I wrote that to my lawyer the very next day. Everything that I thought was important. The fucker didn't even go over it. Or he went over it and was like, oh shit, this one can't talk. We can't give this one the voice to talk. They're making way too much sense. They're putting the pieces together like we wouldn't even know them to be able to do that. They judged a book by its cover. Okay? They thought that this was going to be easy. But yeah, there's nothing that these people won't do. Okay, you think that you have kids, that they have some sort of emotional bond with them. These people will fuck with your kids, okay? They'll do anything for $1, man. They just will. And then they'll lie to themselves about why they're doing it. They'll lie to themselves about the feelings that they feel inside, and they'll project it and say that it's your fault. When really, that's their ugly ass energy, and you don't feel an ounce of those feelings. Why is that? Because it's not your fault. And they know it. They're annoyed. They're annoyed. They're doubting themselves. Because how are you supposed to have confidence in a lie? How are you supposed to have confidence in doing illegal things, okay, and using your resources to tactically target an innocent? How are you supposed to hold yourself confident in that? If you do, you're really fucked, right? Because you should feel guilt. You should feel shame for allowing that jealousy to get that out of control, to make you go that mental, to make you Caillou with many communities. Okay? To instill fear within somebody who doesn't do that to others. Okay, they were like, I fucking want it all or nothing. Okay, well then nothing, bitch. Like, damn. And now they're offended. Like, what? You're not to be trusted. Someone's not to be trusted. And they keep this person out. Like, they wanted you to underestimate yourself. Okay? By when you speak, have other people talk over you and not even address what you just fucking said. Okay? That's a tactic. When you speak, for them not to have eye contact with you. Okay? For them to speak as if they're beneath you. Okay, but they've done this so hard and for so long that people are seeing through it. Okay? Like, no, you're just nasty for real. You couldn't even say something positive out your mouth about this person if you tried to force yourself, if you read it off a script. Okay? That's how much hate in, like, I don't know, it's just like muddled up emotions that you say is because of someone else, and it's really because of your unresolved issues within self. It's a bunch of hurt and anger that's projected onto somebody else who you think is better than you. This person doesn't even think they're better than you. You think that. This person is only concerned with themselves. They're not concerned with you, so they don't believe that. You believe it. And then you're projecting this onto this person as if you believe that this person believes they're better than you. They don't. You believe that, and you're putting that upon someone. This person doesn't give a fuck whether you are better or not. All they care about is progression within their own journey. So that is a delusion within itself. It's a mental case. Okay, and this has someone's depressed and disappointed because their plot didn't work, their lie didn't work, their setup didn't work. You figured it out. You stood in your truth, you stood in your power. These people were very misleading. Okay, and they flung around these false allegations and had a false investigation on some dumb shit, bullshit, complete bullshit, lying to themselves as if this plan would fucking work. Okay, but that is so wrong on so many levels. And it's as if you kept doing this and kept feeding into this delaying of the energy and having the power to do it, and misleading an investigation, obstruction of justice, just to escape the reality that you know is inevitable. That sooner or later, now being the later, you will get caught. Okay? And it's your fault. You know this. Okay? It seems like this person indulging in this and indulging in having someone defeated and lying to themselves that they'll conquer and defeat this person was like them trying to escape this reality of seeing the inevitable, the truth about them coming out, and it knowing it was their fault. So they depended on this plot. They needed this to happen. Okay, and that ended up working against them working on the offense like that, right? They took themselves out. Okay, so how I flip these defects into assets. Okay, they're now my assets. This hypervigilance makes me very observant. Okay? Very observant. I'm capable of seeing the bigger picture. I'm able to distance myself from drama. Okay? I hate that stuff. Okay? I feel like it's brain rot. And I'm like, okay, well, there goes a fucking whole minute of my day, however long you're talking about, whatever. whomever, right? Usually. It's like what they do to you. What are you jealous of? What'd you do now? A willingness to change. Accepting and loving self anyway. Being able to look within. Okay? For resolutions, for problems. Gratitude. Seeing the positive in anybody. Seeing the positive over the negative within people. Or being able to understand the pros and the cons when it comes to their positive and negative. Like just being able to see like the greatness in people, okay? But then also like not taken over by that as to justify or put someone on a pedestal, because nobody belongs on that pedestal. Okay, your higher power does. You do. That's it. Seeing the positive in situations. And sometimes that's just what it taught you. Sometimes it's a beautiful baby boy. Sometimes it's learning self-worth. Okay, but going through the most tragic of stories to be able to speak on it through life experience, right? Where somebody will know that when you are speaking that story, it hits them to their heart because they resonate with it. Okay, so then also connecting with other women who are trying to empower themselves and proving to them that they can, okay, that it's doable. Okay, or men. That I'm able to listen and be taught. Teachable. Problem solving. In maybe some unorthodox ways, or how some normies think would be unorthodox when it's really just a common practice in my life, is to first go to my higher power and sit on it for a while. To not be so trusting in other people, but trusting within self. Because people will lie to you to save them, and people will lie to you for money. People will lie to you just to simply not hurt your feelings. Okay? People would rather disrespect you than hurt your feelings. Okay? Completely disrespect you just to not hurt your feelings. But really, they don't want to be accountable. Okay? They don't know your reaction. They just rather not deal with it. Okay? Even though they've already disrespected you. That's a them problem. I'm able to hold myself accountable, okay, for what I have done. Nothing less and nothing more. Okay, that's why you'll see, like, in the span of 4 years, I was arrested about, I don't know, 3 or 4 times, okay? There's certain charges that I went to court for, and I apologized for, and I did alternative measures for, okay? And I had a sort of action that I was going to do in order to resolve the issue, okay? You will see that. And then there's things that I will not accept something that I did not do, okay? I will not. I already learned that lesson in life before, and I will not. Okay? I will not. So all my charges that got thrown out, I didn't fucking do them. So I was not going to jail for them, okay? And I made it that way. I was so stubborn and strong-willed and found every way to document everything that I was going through and be completely honest. And sometimes that honest was ugly, okay? I got a DUI. I pled guilty for that. I held myself accountable for that. Like, thank God I wasn't so stressed and say accidentally hit somebody or killed somebody, right? Due to the stress that I was put under. But I didn't speak about that stress that was forced upon me. I didn't. I just held myself accountable for my part. Driving under the influence. Okay? And there's a certain amount, not respect comes with that, okay? That is somebody who's like that's a fucking boss, okay? That's a boss. That's a boss who can go through 1,000 times the amount of chaos. And when they have to speak on their wrongdoings, they only speak on their wrongdoings. Knowing that the people that cause them chaos are hoping that they bring their name up, their situation up, what they inflicted upon you to allow you to be in that energy, to do that fucked up thing, to have that problem arise, to have you create your own problem, okay? They want you to indulge in that so that they have a fucking reason, okay? Because they have none, okay? But you didn't give them that, okay? You held yourself accountable accountable for what you did, nothing more and nothing less. And you didn't bring anybody else into it, even though that they know that they created it. That's boss. Okay? And it's making these people respect you. Because it's like, damn, this person tried to make this other person look like a shit disturber, like a fucking, that they're not to be trusted, that they're misleading, that they're a dependent, that they're delusional, that they're an instigator for real, forcing themselves upon their life when really they're like watching this person attentively because they're supposedly so fucked up. You got to keep an eye on them, hide your children, hide your wife type shit, okay? And they're seeing this person be very observant and figuring out what's going on around them without anybody having to tell them, okay? And also being capable of seeing the bigger picture where they know what will benefit them in that moment. Or maybe they don't even know it, but they have a strong feeling and they follow it. Okay? They recognize that this person stays to themselves. If anybody brings this person drama, they cut them off quite blatantly. And they tell them exactly why. And then never speak to them. They see that this person has changed, so obviously they can change. Okay? They see that this person's grateful for the things that they have. The people in their life, even though that they've been through it with these people and their circumstances, they're still grateful. They still have a lot of gratitude, and you can see it in the way that they are still gentle. They're still loving. They still care. When anybody, it would be understanding. It would be understandable if this person didn't care, if they didn't give a shit anymore, if they were cold to you, and this person's not. Okay? So they're seeing that gratitude. They're seeing that you also see the positives of people. You don't just see the negatives and the negativity that they brought you. Okay? If you need to hold that boundary and not be around that person anymore, so be it. But you don't hate them. You wish them the best on their own. Okay, go find your happiness somewhere else, just away from me. Right? Because there is something that attracted you to that person to begin with. We're light and dark, right? It's about finding that balance. But it's not up to us to find that within that person. It's up to them to work on that themselves. Okay? These are these assets that I pulled from defects. So you see how like we can look at things in a certain way, and then we can also look at it in another way, and then know when to apply it within our lives. That makes us very strong. That makes us take what we know and practice it in a new light. Because that's not a bad thing. You're just using it wrong and too much with the wrong people at the wrong time for the wrong reasons. It's still a skill. Okay? Say that I was a liar, okay? Because when I was younger, I was. There was a point in time where like I was starting to lie so much that I didn't know that I could tell the truth, because I was like, okay, I'll be honest today. I need to stop fucking lying all the time, right? Because I feel like my life is losing its meaning, because when I'm saying these lies, I'm lying about everything, so that when I tell one truth, I'm so proud of that truth. I'm like, well, I own this today, you know? It's like, it was so backwards. Everything was losing its meaning. I couldn't keep track of all these lies, and someone would ask me like a simple question, and I'd fucking lie. Okay? I'd make the dumbest shit up. When like even if I were to tell them the truth, it didn't matter, because there was nothing wrong with that truth. Okay? I couldn't not lie, okay? It was a big problem for me. This is probably when I was like 13, up until I was like probably 16, okay? 13, I actively started working on it. It took me 3 years, to be honest. That's a long time. That's hundreds of days it took me to not lie. Okay? And then on this kick, eventually, working till now, years down the line, I recognized along the way that if somebody is like, you know what's skating the line, okay? You know what's skating the line about how it energetically feels. So say somebody's being very intrusive to me, okay? They're being very intrusive. They're trying to make me feel a certain way, and I lie to them, okay? I lie to them. It's a huge ass lie, okay? I will not get karma for that, because of how intrusive they were and their intentions behind coming to me with that question, okay? Or with that intent, with that aggression, whatever it is, okay? I will not get karma, okay? Actually, what they're feeding into will backfire instantly, because I told that lie, because I tripped that up, okay? So there's like certain things like, I wouldn't lie just to lie anymore. Okay, I'm a very honest, open book type of person, because I want other people to know that, like, I don't know, just like whatever it means to you, right? I didn't like lying because my life didn't feel meaningful anymore. Because I knew I was lying. Because I knew that whoever was looking upon me up above, who was looking down upon me, knew that I was fucking lying. And for what? It wasn't the truth. It didn't mean anything. It made me all fucking foggy in the brain, right? yeah, I forget where I was going with that, but like, understand where you're at and be honest with yourself. If you know that you're a fucking pathological liar and you like to lie to this bitch and this bitch and this bitch and it makes you feel a certain way, that's how you get your rocks off. Fucking own it, okay? And not own it like make these people feel bad or be a fucking dickhead about it, but like know that's where you're at. Know that's what you tell that woman to manipulate the other one to whatever the fuck it is, okay? Just be 100% honest, because if you're not honest, you can't progress. And if you're not progressing, you're not going to change. You're just going to keep lying to yourself. Okay? We have to be able to learn from these mistakes. We have to be able to take something from what we're doing that we now know has been wrong. Okay? Or that maybe we always knew that was wrong, but now we want to make a change. Like, you could be the biggest piece of shit and then become the most resilient, strongest, most loyal, trustworthy lover there is. That's a spiritual awakening. I got tongue-tied there. That's a spiritual awakening. Okay, that is something sparking within you, either brought upon by somebody else or something that you can't explain, a life experience. It can be triggered by many things, okay? But that's it. You're not the same. You're not the same after that. You're not the same after interacting with that person. You're not the same after experiencing that event. You're not the same after recognizing something that you can unsee. So yeah, now if I respect somebody, okay, and that's just like a mutual give and take. I'll respect an acquaintance on the street, okay? I can't lie to that person. I won't. There's no reason to, okay? And then down the line, I realized that it it really doesn't matter for me to want to entertain anybody with a lie. It just means I'm too far into holding something valuable that isn't, okay? That reputation part, okay? It's showing me something. It's showing me that me caring about this is wrong. Let me take a step back. Why does me lying to that person even matter? Right? It's like, whoa. I got way off. I need to start doing some introspection. I need to start being honest with self so that I can project that honesty outward. So that has that positive ripple effect, so that other people know that they can be honest about themselves and their story. So that it'll continue down the line, right? People will no longer feel the need to escape their reality with lies, but actually embrace their reality and the truth and change it, make themselves even better, make their reality even better, make their thoughts even better. Okay? Because some of us start at the lowest points. And we have to be able to accept that within self to even get any better. Okay? That's how you see people who have committed multiple murders become a new person, okay? Become a better person than you. Become a better person than me. Okay? It's these things, it's capable. And how they did it was they were very honest with self, with their higher power. Okay? And they were very, they used their discernment because they already know how nasty people could be, okay, whatever their story is. And they were very dedicated. It's fucking dedication, man. Day in and day out, working on self and ignoring the rest. Even though you know that these people wish to taunt you, to seduce you, to trip you up. That'd be the best day of their life for you to get caught up in that shit, and you still don't, because you're laser focused on seeing the bigger picture and what you're capable of, and what you're capable of allowing other people to see, the capability within them, right? I need to put this big red book away, because like I'll just talk for hours. So the art of war is kind of what triggered that discussion. Okay, I'm going to move on. I'm going to do this tomorrow. I'm going to do this tomorrow, because I'm just taking a long time. We've been talking for 2 hours. Okay. So I feel like this is the most important out of these things. Okay, look at this. This is Mother's Day. Second Mother's Day after they took my kids, because the first Mother's Day, I wasn't allowed to see them. I wasn't allowed to see my kids for months, a really long time after they took them away. Okay, and that was to alienate me. Okay, that was to make me feel a certain way and go down a certain path, which I did. I did, okay? But I also worked myself back into their life, and didn't take no for an answer. Okay, when I was being harassed by social workers, I'd call them out. I'd document everything. I'd ask them certain questions and why they were asking me that. And when they answered it wrong, I'd tell them why they were asking me that, and how they asked it to me, the order they asked it to me in, what it was supposed to do to me, and that I wouldn't allow it to happen. Okay? And that they could either let me see my kids or let me speak to who's above them. Because I know that this is harassment. I know that this is false reports, and I'm telling you this. Okay? And it was just so dumb. But imagine if somebody wasn't outspoken. Imagine if somebody was already depressed, going through some maybe baby blues shit, okay? That's very, like, serious, depressive, like, they're not capable in the mind to process any of this shit. Okay? And you're setting this person up like that. Many livelihoods are affected like this. Okay, because people don't know better. People trust that the system will give their kids back and give them justice, when it's the exact system that fucking did this to them. They would have been better off. It's just so tragic, because there had to have been thousands of people like that. Thousands of families, children, okay? I remember them trying to, like, brainwash my kids subtly, because I nipped it in the fucking butt. But, like, that's... So, it's so tragic, ruining people's lives. I felt like something within me was gone, okay? There was this void within my heart. I can't explain the loss, okay? I thought I knew what heartbreak was. I didn't know. Like, in these moments, I knew. And I knew that I needed to start being more grateful. I just didn't know how. I still don't know how all the way. I still fuck up. But I'm trying, okay? And I'll never put myself in that type of compromising situation ever again. And even still to this day, when I'm being stalked and harassed, I will say it, okay? And you will get caught up, motherfucker, because you're on the offense. I'm on the defense, playing it cool, okay? Doing that inner work. Bonding with my children. It took me a long time to create, you know how like when your baby's born, you're just synced. It's like, oh, he peed. Oh, he pooped. Oh, he needs this, just by the little tone that they have, right? You become synced. I lost that. I lost it. Because I was so overwhelmed with a bunch of chaos. And then when I met up with my kids, I realized that they were being, I don't know what it'd be called. I say it's like brainwashed, right? They were being groomed to not like me, to make, for me to be a bad guy. And I'm not. They know it. They know my love. They know what it feels like. It's very nurturing in its own unique way. Okay? They're very special to me. And when I saw this, on how distracted I was with this shit, to even know what my kids were going through in believing or not wanting to believe that I was a bad person, because I'm not. They knew it. And when I talked to Parker about it, he was like, I told them, Mommy, I told them, stop talking bad about my mommy like that. I love my mommy loves me. Like, he would just tell them off. I wasn't even there to be telling them off. And then he told me everything. He was like, they said you're going to jail. They said this. They said that you're bad. They said that you choose this over me. No. No, baby. None of that was true. None of it was true. And he knew. He told me he knew. And then he was also able, like, he was also able to tell me what had happened back then. He told me what happened. He told me that they gave that bad medicine to my son, okay? He was the one who told me that. And I'm like, I know. I know. So, like, trying to explain this shit to a 5-year-old, it's like, I don't want to lie. I don't want him going to school and saying it as bluntly as I do, right? Like, I don't want to, he's been through enough, but he also needs to be able to put the experience, like, it needs to be set out for him, right? It needs to be spread out for him to be able to understand and absorb it, okay? To know it as, like, what it truthfully was, okay? In a way that a 5-year-old mind can grasp, okay? It wasn't right. I don't know, it was a difficult one. I really had to pray on what to say. But anyways, this was the second Mother's Day after they got taken. Mommy, you're pretty much the best mom in the world, and you deserve all the happiness and all the smiles and all the things today. Happy Mother's Day. And then that's Parker's little writing. I would be lying if I said that the bond didn't deteriorate there. I was so consumed with all this stuff, all this chaos. And then when I came to the realization what they were doing over here with my children, I snapped. I felt like, what's the fucking point? They're just trying to alienate me anyways. They're just going to get their way anyways. I still had yet to see them, right? Like, I only got to speak to them over the phone or FaceTime after a long time, months of not being able to do it, right? So there was this void, and then that happened, and then I was detached. In order to get through not being with them any longer, I had to detach myself, okay? So to say that that bond didn't get affected would be a lie. Okay, when I got them back, I was overwhelmed. I didn't know what these kids wanted. I couldn't pick up their cues. They couldn't pick up mine. We're all getting frustrated, but still loving each other. Like, getting pissed off during the day, like, chaotic, screaming, yelling at each other, and then cuddling at night, you know? It was a bit chaotic at first. it took a long time. Okay, I got my kids back almost 3 years ago, maybe 4. I don't know. Around that time, okay? Just now am I starting to feel the bond between myself and my kids again. Okay? And that's as long as they were taken. And I worked really hard to get it back. As much as I could, right? I wanted that back. Anyway, I'm kind of getting reminded of something that my grandfather told me. My step-grandfather. I was in early recovery like the first time. Maybe I was like 16 or something, okay? And I was like, Grandpa, how long am I going to have to feel like this is a hard task to overcome? And he put it this way. He was like, if you walk 5 kilometers into the bush, how long will it take you to walk back? At least, if you're on task, 5 kilometers. Okay? So, this relationship was tried to be destroyed for a long time. And it took that same amount of time for me to put hard